Rudrappa Ramani, who allowed the discussion on the state budget, which is when this ruckus really started. Now, responding to the act, the Speaker of the Assembly, UT Khader, has suspended all these 10 MLAs in the end of the Assembly session. That is this Friday, or the 21st of June. Remember, the BJP and JDS have in fact joined the ranks in protesting against the government in the state. We've just heard the former Chief Minister, Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy, who's come out all guns blazing against the Congress government, and he's launched a scathing attack along with the former Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai of the BJP. Both of them together slamming the Karnataka government for using IAS officers for a non-government event in Bengaluru. Now, JDS leader Kumaraswamy is also alleged that in fact, the same government had failed to send public servants to console the farmers of the families who died by suicide, and they are deploying IAS officers for a non-government event, in this case, the opposition meeting. Meanwhile, if we take a look at what the current State Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, has said, he's already gone on to clarify that the Karnataka government had no part to play in the opposition meeting. My colleague Harish Upadhyay is live with us from outside the Vidhana Soda, from where this entire ruckus is emanating from, and he is going to be telling us exactly what is happening at the moment. We can see the scenes from inside the assembly. One of the suspended MLAs had also fainted inside the assembly after the pandemonium broke out. Harish, what's going on over there?
Well, in a couple of minutes, you will have H.D. Kumaraswamy, the former Chief Minister of Karnataka, addressing the press here. He's already spoken to the Kannada media. Remember, three significant points he's making here. One, he's saying that the protocol has been violated. This is unprecedented, has never happened in Karnataka, even when he became the Chief Minister. You have Mr. Kumaraswamy addressing the media in English now.
Regarding the dharna took place by opposition party. This is the main fault by the ruling party. Because of ruling party's adamant attitude. Ultimately, BJP members and JDS members, we entered the well. Even after the dharna took place, abruptly our speaker, without adjourning house for the lunch, he suggested to continue the session without giving any lunch break. Because of that reason, some members, they have actually thrown some papers. This kind of thing, several times it has happened on the floor. Because of our treasury bench pressure, Speaker has suspended 10 MLAs today. This is not actually good for the constitutional, what rights is there MLAs. This is not the bad incident took place in Karnataka Assembly. Yesterday they have named their party's unification I.N.D.A. By naming India, how they will going to in future days destroy these constitutional powers which is given by Ambedkar and team to safeguard the interests of the constitution and this democracy. This government today, they have expressed their decision by naming India's name yesterday to demolish this democratic system in this country. They have shown today.
Sir, tomorrow BJP will be meeting the governor regarding the suspension. Will you also be joining your hands?
Let us see. If it is necessary, we will also join.
Sir, how would you collaborate with the BJP going forward, sir, on this issue especially?
No, in this issue, this is not the fault of BJP. When two days back, what this government has given special invitation and what IAS officer deputed to look after the invitees. This is first time in this country this kind of decision was taken by any government. That too, that program is political program. What Article 5/1 express about the duties of our IAS service officers? What is the decision has taken in this issue, what powers they have got, how they are deputed this government. For this, BJP friends, that today raised this issue within 5 minutes with a simple request by the government. Yes, we have done a mistake. We'll future days will take care about this. It will not occur future days. One answer, if they have actually expressed it before the House, all these things easily solved it. This treasury bench only, Congress friends only, they decided, bulldoze the opposition demands. For that thing only, this thing has happened.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So, once
Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy, briefing the media, he has gone on to say that JDS and BJP have joined the ranks to go ahead and protest against whatever has happened inside the Karnataka Assembly. What he is suggesting is that the unruly behavior was not because of a demand for a certain discussion, which is to do with the deployment of IS officers at the opposition meet function. However, there was a throwing of papers because the lunch session was not taken into account and the speaker ended up not adjourning the House, and there was some sort of a problem because of that, and the suspension is totally unconstitutional. That's what he's gone on to say. In fact, we're getting more breaking news on the broadcast. Let's first take a look at that. Now, in the Assembly, the Congress leaders have now demanded that a case be filed against BJP leaders for vandalism inside the Karnataka Assembly. BJP MLA Ashwath Narayana, in fact, has gone on to speak to CNN News18. He said that the BJP is going to boycott the Assembly session. Let me bring in my colleague Harish Upadhyay, who continues to be with us on the broadcast. Harish, on the one hand, BJP claiming boycott of the Assembly. On the other hand, the Congress demands a case be registered for vandalism against the BJP leaders. What is happening inside the Karnataka Assembly?
Some very rare scenes of BJP and JDS combining here, getting together. You have Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy of the JDS extending support to the BJP's protest and sitting here on protest alongside Mr. Basuraj Bobai and Mr. R. Ashok of the BJP. Both of them collaborating here. In fact, Kumaraswamy also saying that in the coming days, they will fight this together. He's saying the issue raised by the BJP is legitimate and they would be extending support to that. He says they are yet to decide what they want to do, whether they want to be with the BJP while the BJP goes to the governor's house. That they are saying will be decided by tomorrow morning when the BJP wants to head to the governor's house. But over the last 2 weeks, we had seen how the BJP had spoken about combining forces with the JDS and taking on this government. And now you have Kumaraswamy coming together, sitting and extending support to this protest that was happening in the steps of Vidhan Sauda, where the BJP MLAs have been protesting for the last hour or so, and the JDS extending support to that.
Also, Harish, is this what the future really entails as far as an alliance between the JDS and the BJP is concerned? Is it going to be 38+1 now as far as the National Democratic Alliance is concerned? What is Kumaraswamy really saying about that arrangement?
The Congress will have to fight a joint opposition. They might not have got together, they might not be speaking about seat sharing, but they will combine forces, especially on taking on Congress on the floor of the House and on issues. That is something that's becoming very clear because remember, this Congress government enjoys a very brute majority of 136 seats.
Yes.
And with the BJP yet to appoint a leader of opposition, they would want to combine forces and ensure they take on the Congress here on the floor of the House. And that's why today you have Mr. Kumaraswamy extending support, and he hasn't spoken against the BJP. When we have asked him earlier on whether he would join the NDA, he hasn't clearly ruled it out per se,
yes,
but said he's a small party and he would win 2-3 seats on his own, and he's not got an invite. While he has lashed out against the opposition front, he hasn't spoken against the NDA or the BJP. They were not invited for the meeting that happened yesterday, But it's very clear that right now, at this moment, the JDS has soft corner for the BJP, and it is coming out today with the JDS joining ranks with the BJP, especially on this issue of seeking a no confidence against the speaker and taking on the speaker here and the Congress government.
Harish, is it a possibility to speak to either of the leaders? Both Mr. Bommai and Mr. Kumaraswamy are over there. Any possibility that we can get in a word from the leaders of the BJP and JDS there? Harish, are you able to hear me? All right, we'll go back to my colleague Harish. He is in the thick of things over there as the protests continue outside the Karnataka Assembly, with leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the JDS joining forces and protesting against not just the speaker, who they are alleging is having a partisan behavior, but also against the Congress government in the state. Let me bring in my colleague DP Satish on the broadcast now. DP, how do you read this joining of ranks of the JDS and the BJP to protest against the Congress government in Karnataka, and the allegations that Kumaraswamy has just put on record against the speaker, claiming that it has been a partisan behavior for him to go ahead and suspend the 10 BJP MLAs till the end of the assembly session?
When this incident happened, I was also in the state assembly. I was in the press gallery, and Kumaraswamy walked out of the assembly hall along with JDS MLAs. JDS has 19 MLAs in the house and BJP has 66 MLAs. After the speaker, UT Khadar, suspended 10 BJP MLAs, the marshals were forced to evict them. And after that, remaining BJP MLAs walked out of the house, alleging that speaker acted in an undemocratic manner. And immediately after that, Kumaraswamy came out of the house along with the JDS MLAs, claiming that today is a block day in the history of Karnataka Assembly and speaker shouldn't have acted like this. And he has extended full support to the protesting BJP MLAs, claiming that there is no fault of the opposition, main opposition BJP, because Karnataka government had deputed senior IAS officers to assist opposition party leaders who were in Bangalore for an opposition meet 2 days ago.
Yes.
And BJP was protesting that, and there was no need for the speaker to suspend BJP MLAs. But Congress Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has made a speech in the assembly a few minutes ago, claiming that the BJP MLAs have insulted Speaker's chair. That's why Speaker was forced to suspend 10 of the MLAs, and after that remaining BJP MLAs behaved in an unruly manner. But Kumaraswamy is openly supporting the BJP, and he's also behaving like as if he is the real leader of the opposition, because there is no leader of the opposition in the Karnataka Assembly. Even after 2 months, BJP is yet to finalize a name, and Kumaraswamy is JDS legislative party leader, and he is behaving like as if he is acting like he is the opposition party leader, and Kumaraswamy is leading this protest along with other BJP MLAs, and there are also rumors in Bengaluru that the JDS might join the NDA soon,
Yes.
and BJP and JDS might contest the next Lok Sabha election together.
Also, DP, that's a very important point that you've mentioned over here. But the real question is that is the BJP ready to play second fiddle to the JDS as far as the state of Karnataka is concerned? Because this, of course, will lead to the larger question of whether they are going to be now part of the NDA alliance, whether it is going to be 38 plus JDS now as far as the political parties who have joined in the ranks with the BJP.
Because JDS is fighting for its survival. JDS won just 19 seats, and JDS has been decimated in most parts of the state, and JDS will have to go with a major party, which is BJP, for its survival. And BJP also thinks if they go with JDS together, they can win more Lok Sabha seats, because in the previous parliament election, BJP won 25 seats. 1 seat was won independent, and JDS and Congress could win just 1 seat each. And Kumaraswamy, who thinks that going with BJP is beneficial to the JDS, but many in the BJP are not very happy with this development, because in the Old Mysore region, both BJP and JDS will have to fight for the same Wakliga vote bank.
Hang on. 1 second. Joining us right now, H.D. Kumaraswamy, former Chief Minister.
We are on live, Harish, please.
1 second.
I'm also
Yes.
live. Don't do that.
We asked-
Everybody on live.
No,
No, don't do that.
Sir, what's the stance of the JDS now, sir?
No, don't do that. This is not right, maga. ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. I'm coming with him from there. Harish, stop. Don't do nonsense.
Sir, one quick word, sir. Sir, just a quick word in English, sir.
You leave it, brother.
Dude, I stopped it.
Right, DP, we were trying to actually cut to Harish as he's there outside the Karnataka Assembly. We were seeing if we could get in a word with H.D. Kumaraswamy. You were mentioning how he's trying to project himself as a leader of opposition because still there is no LOP that's been decided as far as the Karnataka Assembly is concerned. But right now he is spearheading the protest and BJP has taken a backseat despite the fact that 10 of the BJP MLAs stand suspended from the Karnataka Assembly. DP, are you with us? Let me see if I can connect to Harish, my colleague, who is there outside the Karnataka Assembly. Meanwhile, this is what is happening. Let me actually break down what has H.D. Kumaraswamy said in his speech outside the Karnataka Assembly. Now, he has gone on to, in fact, claim that there was a partisan behavior on part of the Assembly Speaker. He also said that it was not because of the demand for a discussion on this issue as to why were IS officers deployed for a non-government event like the opposition meet in Bengaluru that took place on Monday and Tuesday in the state of Karnataka. It was because the speaker decided not to adjourn the assembly for lunch and continue with the discussion. Some of the MLAs were upset because of it. You can see one of the BJP MLAs who in fact fainted because of the pandemonium. Those visuals there on your screens. These are visuals from, I believe, earlier in the day. This is the MLA, one of the suspended BJP MLAs who in fact lost consciousness while he was inside the assembly and he had to be carried out by marshals. Now, what Kumaraswamy suggested is that some of the MLAs descended onto the well of the house. They were upset because the adjourning of the assembly did not happen.
This government, they are now arresting us for asking justice and asking the questions on corruption of this government, farmer suicide and failure of law and order.
Sir.
And they don't want to discuss all these things. They want to suppress the voice of opposition. Today, in the annals of Vidhan Sabha, it's a dark day. It's a death of democracy.
Sir, in your law, is being arrested from Vidhan, sir, for protesting.
Never in the Vidhan Sabha this thing arrested. Never the marshals have manhandled the MLAs, elected representatives. It's an inhuman government. We have got Taliban government.
Yes, sir.
There you have the former Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Basavaraj Bommai, responding to questions of my colleague Harish as more and more BJP and JDS MLAs in fact have been detained who were protesting outside the Karnataka Assembly. One of the MLAs even marshalled out by the people over there, by the marshals. He was taken away and you can see that all the leaders of the opposition in the state of Karnataka are being huddled into a bus and they are now being detained and taken out of the Karnataka Assembly. We'll try and re-establish connection with my colleague Harish also to give us a sense of exactly what is happening over there now. But you just heard Basavaraj Bommai of the BJP. He in fact has accused the government in the state and he's called them quote-unquote a Taliban government, as he also goes on to say that democracy is dying in the state of Karnataka as the opposition voice is being muzzled. We will also once again play out that reaction for you in English to understand as to what has been the BJP and the JDS's stance in the matter. But right now you can see that bus leaving, most of it is being filled by BJP MLAs and JDS MLAs who've been detained and escorted out of the Karnataka Assembly. Let me see if I have Harish back on the broadcast so that we can get a sense of what exactly has been the stance. But these are visuals from earlier in the day. You can see JDS's Kumaraswamy and also Basavaraj Bommai sitting in protest outside the Karnataka Assembly. Harish is back with us on the broadcast. Harish, we just heard you speak to Basavaraj Bommai. He has accused the government in the state of behaving in a very, very partisan manner. They've also gone on to claim that this is a Talibanized form of governance. Now there are detentions that have been reportedly taking place in the Karnataka Assembly. What more can you tell us about that?
In fact, the visuals that you saw just now is of BJP MLAs who've been dragged away in a BMTC bus by the police here. They've been detained. They were protesting on the steps of Vidhan Saudha's West Gate. Now, all of them have been dragged away by the police here. One believes that this has happened with the concurrence or the instruction of the speaker here, because any move that happens within the Vidhan Saudha, any move of this nature won't be possible without the concurrence of the speaker. Perhaps the speaker has cleared this order, and that has happened. They've been dragged away. That's what Mr. Basuraj Bommai was referring. He said in his long political history, he's never seen MLAs being dragged out of the house in this manner or being detained in this manner while protesting inside Vidhan Saudha. We have seen MLAs protesting on the steps of Vidhan Saudha near the Gandhi statue, but never ever have they been dragged out this way and detained by the police. And the BJP saying all this happening at the behest of the speaker. And that's one of the main reasons why you had Bommai saying that this government is behaving in an autocratic manner.
Yeah.
He called it the Hitler government earlier in the day. And now to us, he said this government is functioning like how Taliban functions.
Harish, you know, about this entire aspect, is it a possibility that we can get in a word from the ruling Congress government in Karnataka? In fact, more reactions coming in. Harish, I'd request you to stay with us.
System to the without having any other position other this thing. How can are you going to accept some of them? Of course, some of them are our state guests. For the state guests, it is our duty to take care of the things, and this. When there is no position or these things, and without anybody comes here to our state, if it is not supposed to be our state guest, how can you provide? IAS officer should take care of this. This is a very blunder they did, and I don't know. And the chief secretary of the government should answer for all these things. For that,
at the end of the protest which took place today, I think it's the first time in last 10-15 years these kind of protests and being detained.
No, it is not the question of protest or anything. The question arises only without somebody has come here, and are you going to treat all these persons in the same manner? That what the question is. Protocol has to be given. Protocol, it has got its own sanctity. You have to maintain that sanctity.
So illegal. We ask for the justice. They are used just like P1 IAS officers. So we asked for the justice. Though they suspended 10 MLAs of BJP. That's why we are protesting.
Now you are being detained by the police, sir.
Huh?
Now you are being detained by the police. Do you think it's because of your protest which you are conducting?
Is illegal? ಹೌದು. ತಾಳ್ಗುರು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
It's for the
ಎಲ್ಲ ಹತ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ ವ್ಯಾನ್ಗೆ. ನಮ್ದು ವ್ಯಾನ್ ಇದು.
My colleague Harish continues to be with us on the broadcast. Harish, while the JDS and the BJP combined are calling out the government in the state of Karnataka for behaving in an autocratic manner, there is a dictatorial regime of Siddaramaiah, that's what they are claiming. But I want to understand, has there been a word from the Congress party? Because while they were not in power, that was the exact same accusation that they leveled against the BJP that was in power in the state in the past. What do they have to say about the allegations that are now coming in by way of what is being said by the former chief ministers Basuraj Bommai and H.D. Kumaraswamy?
Well, you've had Siddaramaiah just an hour ago addressing on this issue on the floor of the House. He said this is a dark day in the history of Karnataka Vidhan Saudha, and he said he's extremely saddened by what has happened on the floor of the House today. Well, he's referring to the incident of BJP MLAs actually tearing the bills that were supposed to be introduced and then throwing it at the speaker. The BJP, the Congress says we were fine with the protest, we were okay with the MLAs entering the well of the House and protesting there, but this was an act of throwing something at the speaker directly. That's disrespectful. They're also making another point. The Congress says that this is the anti-Dalit behavior of the BJP. They are saying the speaker, deputy speaker who was on the chair back then, Mr. Lamani, who was the speaker, who was the deputy speaker, who was in the house when this happened, and the man who was speaking, Mr. Narendra Swami, another Dalit MLA. The Congress saying that this shows the anti-Dalit attitude of the BJP, and they said that's the reason the speaker had to act and take action against all these 10 people. Now let's recollect what has happened in the last 2 weeks or so.
Yes.
We've had altercation on the floor of the House. At multiple times, the BJP wanted to discuss various issues. First, the Congress said that won't be possible. The governor's speech to the joint house has to be discussed first, and then they actually pushed it to the next day. On the next day as well, on multiple issues, the government said in a 0 hour this issue can't be raised. So there has been a lot of flashpoints between the government and the BJP on discussing issues in the House. But today, when the BJP insisted that the government answer on why IAS officers were deputed for people coming to a political event, the government didn't want to discuss that. They have 2 more days. They wanted to discuss the budget, and the speaker did not allow that to happen. And really the flashpoint was when the speaker went for a lunch break but did not adjourn the House, saying that anybody who wants to go for lunch can go. The House will continue. That's when perhaps the tempers started to flare inside the House, and BJP leaders started to throw paper at the deputy speaker who was heading the House at that point in time. And the Congress now unwilling to budge, saying that this was an act that they can't accept. And even as all this chaos was taking place outside the west entrance here in Vidhan Sauda, the session was resumed, and the session still going on.
All right. Harish, thank you so much for that input. We will keep coming back to you as and when we have more developments. But right now, the BJP and the JDS MLAs who were protesting outside the assembly, they stand detained. A lot of them have been marshalled out of the assembly for creating that ruckus, and they've been packed into a bus and then taken for detention. Let's, in fact, take a quick break on that note. We'll come back on Viewpoint with lots more.
In the media, what more details have that the police been able to assimilate so far? That all will be put out as well. But yes, this is a major development that has taken place. Also remember what exactly happened in the ISIS module case in the Shimoga district as well. There the whole sinister plan was again been busted by the police, and we did see, however, that case right now is with the NIA. The NIA is investigating it, but yes, constantly that such incidents are actually often occurring from the state of Karnataka. Now the police is on foot to ensure that they get to burst such in fact modules at the earliest, and any such acts would really not be tolerated. So that's the reason we're getting to see the CCB police getting into an action at the right time when they got to know that the kind of plan that they were actually making. So police now trying to interrogate that, where exactly they used to together meet and what kind of talks that they used to exchange as well, who others were also involved in it, because with the kind of seizure now being done with walkie-talkies and other materials being seized as well, police trying to understand that whom else they were in touch with, whether there was someone who was were in touch with outside the India as well, because we did see such things happening in the Shimoga module case as ISIS module case as well. So here police also trying to understand all those angles. Also another point needs to be seen of what age all these accused are in fact, because in 2017 all these suspected terrorists were also accused of a murder case, and they were put in the Bengaluru Central Jail, where they came in touch with the person identified as Nazir, again as said, accused of the terror module. So right after that, this whole plan of theirs started and had reached to a next level that police identified at right time and have actually arrested them from the different locations of Bengaluru. But as said, all that details will be out in some time now.
Also, Ritu, another important question that arises is that how were they in touch with T. Nazir, who is lodged in the Bengaluru Central Jail?
Well, what police is also saying is that because when in 2017, when all these suspected terrorists are now who've been arrested by the CCB were also put in the same jail where they came in contact with the T. Nazir. Now, that's the reason, as we are speaking about it, we need to see what police will be able to tell us that how exactly they came in touch with, how constantly they used to meet inside the jail as well, what were the kind of in fact, steps that were actually taken inside the jail to ensure that such accused actually don't get in touch with the other case accused as well, because that is again important point, and where they might land in a fault as well, because the police, or that for that matter the prison department, the cops there again. So that needs to be seen of how actually they were getting in touch, and right after when they were also out, how they still continue to be in touch as well, how they used to get to talk to each other, the kind of information, whether there were other means of communication as well. So all that is actually going to be an interesting part of this particular case. But however, as such, you see, what will be more important also to understand is that who else were involved in this particular case, because in 2017, along with these 5 accused, there were others also who were actually mentioned in that particular murder case, and who were also put, there were a few others who were also put in the jail, whether they were also in touch with these suspected terrorists as well. So yes, all that is now going to be revealed by the Bengaluru police from some time now.
All right, Ritu, thank you so much for giving us all those details. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates on this story. Now, shifting focus, a major terror attack has been averted in Bengaluru after an ISIS gang was busted in Karnataka. 5 suspects of a possible terror module were arrested yesterday in Bengaluru from various locations. 4 walkie-talkies, 7 pistols, ammunition and other incriminating materials were found. The suspects, during questioning, also disclosed that they were in touch with T. Nazir, who is a terror accused presently lodged in Bengaluru Central Jail. And according to top intel sources, this module was run by a person, Junaid, from Baku. Now, Junaid was in touch with ISI and sent explosives to these boys, possibly from Gujrat border or Punjab border. So we're getting you this exclusive information and a big piece of news that a major terror attack has been averted in Karnataka's Bengaluru after an ISIS gang was busted. Now, 5 suspects of a possible terror module were arrested yesterday in Bengaluru from various locations. Now, what all has been recovered? 4 walkie-talkies, 7 pistols, ammunition and other incriminating materials have been recovered. CNN News 18's Ritu is joining us to tell us more about it. Ritu, can you give us more details about this terror gang, this ISIS gang that has been busted in Karnataka?
So yes, CCB police here in Bengaluru have arrested 5 suspected terrorists yesterday, and in fact what we are given to understand is that during the interrogation, and the accused have in fact also told the police that they were in touch with the person identified as T. Nazir, in fact, who is accused in the terror module. So they came in touch with him and they were constantly in contact with him as well. So that's where, this whole, in fact, the plan there started. And what we are also given to understand is that it was led by the person identified as Junaid. So he was leading the team, in fact, that we can really say at this point in time. So he was there helping out the other boys with the ammunitions and the other equipments or the explosive materials as well for their sinister plan. But needs to be seen now during the press conference when the Bengaluru Police Commissioner will be addressing the media. What more details have that the police been able to assimilate so far? That all will be put out as well. But yes, this is a major development that has taken place. Also remember what exactly happened.
Welcome back. You're watching Viewpoint with me, Griha. Now, there is an unmistakable sense of determination in the opposition's second unity meeting in Bengaluru. Does that mean that they have finally managed to have a formidable force up against the BJP? Although between Patna, where the first opposition conclave was held, and Bengaluru, the BJP did strike twice. First, it broke the opposition's strongest link by splitting the Nationalist Congress Party in Maharashtra, leaving Maratha strongman Sharad Pawar's creation, the Mahavikas Aghadi, in tatters. And then they summoned a mega meet of an expanded National Democratic Alliance and flaunted 38 partners. Some old, some new and some returnees. Truth is, the BJP had definitely hoped to spook the opposition and leave it stuttering for a strategy. The opposition, though, has hit back by firing 2 salvos, with the Congress bringing in a surprise by getting Sonia Gandhi as a symbolic figurehead of this opposition unity and then announcing India as the name for the new alliance, which of course could be read as a blowback for BJP's nationalism pitch. And as the headlines read, India versus NDA, the Prime Minister also lashed out at the alliance, calling them corrupt dynasts. Although, as they say, what's in a name? Well, apparently lots, because one leader in the opposition meet needed some convincing as the nomenclature India was discussed, and that was Nitish Kumar. The BJP did try to rein in on the opposition parade with the "Is Nitish Kumar upset?" ploy. But a denial and clarification by Kumar has nipped this controversy in the bud, at least for now. However, with senior leaders like CPIM's Brinda Karat still training their guns at their national alliance partners like the Trinamool Congress and TMC MPs jumping that gun and pitching Mamata Banerjee's name for Prime Minister, how much can India wade through these tricky topics so as not to be thrown off course? All of this will be the important question. So let's get to it on Viewpoint this evening.
टीएमसी के खिलाफ और टीएमसी की तानाशाही रुख जो बंगाल में दिखाई दिया है पूरे पंचायत के चुनाव में, जिसके आधार पर 7 लोगों की मृत्यु हुई, वो बंगाल की हकीकत है।
আমাদের নেত্রী আমাদের সিএম একজন বাঙালি যে হয়নি কখনো, তো আমরা তো চাইবো সেটা।
According to our sources from Congress people who were inside the meeting, they have confirmed that Nitish Kumar was not happy with the deliberations in the meeting. He wanted that his name should be finalized as a convener.
राजगीर की हो रही थी ना, हमको मन था कि हम राजगीर देर हो रहा हमको, तो इसीलिए हम आ गए हैं और कोई बात नहीं है। इसलिए पूरे तौर पर हम लोग साथ हैं।
Let me open this up. Charu Pragya of the BJP joins me on the broadcast this evening. Also joining me is Arshpreet Kadyal of the Congress Party. Charu and Arshpreet, pleasure to have you both with us on the broadcast. Charu, let me begin with you. The accusation against the BJP, of course, is that the intimidatory tactics of the BJP have not really worked as far as the opposition unity is concerned. They seem to be really resolute in what their positioning is this time around.
And that is great for them, Griha. But the fact of the matter is that the opposition, what the opposition is today, has always been united. UPA had a government in power, not once but twice, and that was a government of coalition. There were many political parties that were part of it, and they are trying to pull the same thing together again. They did try it for 2019 elections as well. The fact is not that they can come together for the meeting, but how long can they stay together? Are we already not hearing about these chinks in the armor of the so-called opposition unity? See, it's like a pack of cards. One gust of wind and all of it blows over and they are exposed for who they are. Today, these 26 parties have got 26 faces if they win to be the Prime Minister of this country. They cannot agree on anything except one thing, which is how to beat Narendra Modi. Now, that cannot be the plank on which you want to represent the people of India. Your acronym does not matter today. Even the acronym, in fact, is a page out of BJP's book. The first thing the party says is nation first, India first. Like that's the plank on which BJP has always stood for. It stood by, and we've always been very vocal and very proud about it. So I think it just shows that the opposition has been rattled throughout. Even 26 parties coming together is not changing the essence of who they are, and it's unlikely to change. That's not going to happen. In any case, India is a thriving, brilliant democracy. I wish them all the best. May they continue with their meetings. But at the end of the day, today we have a report card to show. We have 10 years of UPA, which can be compared with 10 years of NDA. And this report card speaks for itself. It's this report card that the people of India will go by. It is the people of India who see that yahan neta bhi confused hai. नीति इनके पास कोई है नहीं, निर्णय लेने वाला इनके पास कोई है नहीं. It's a situation which is like this बीरबल की खिचड़ी जो पकनी शुरू तो हो गई है बट पकेगी नहीं कभी. So let's wait and watch. Elections are around the corner, but already we have Nitish ji who gets upset and who leaves the meeting. We already have comments coming from TMC. the party in Maharashtra, Sharad Pawarji's party, is already a fragmented version of what it was. Today, Aam Aadmi Party and Congress want to be comfortable with each other, but we all know the reality of how that is shaping up. And like I said, it's going to unfold like a drama series, and I've got my eyes glued to television just like everyone else.
Okay, so Arshpreet, your response to the accusation that Charu is making, considering she mentioned the 2019 alliance, what is different? What is so different this time in 2023 that the opposition uniting their forces? Because after all, it is a battle of perception. How do you think this time around the opposition unity can be perceived? It is going to stand that test of time, because that obvious question really remains, because these fragmented versions, there are statements that have been made by the likes of Brinda Karat or TMC MPs who have in fact spoken not in unison. They are still talking about the regional interests first as opposed to the national interests.
Thank you very much for the question. First and foremost, there is one major difference between our opposition unity, which is India, and Bharatiya Janata Party's unity, which is NDA. The difference is we have all gathered up to save the democracy, and the NDA has gathered up to obliterate that very democracy. Number two, the opposition unity has been getting stronger by every passing day. In Patna, Bihar, around 16 parties had gathered up, and in Bangalore, more than 26 parties have gathered up, which means 10 more political parties have come to a meet, and 2 of them happen to be former BJP allies. There are parties breaking away from the faction of BJP and are joining hands with the opposition unity, because the fight here is to save our democracy that the Bharatiya Janata Party has been trying to do away with. Next is that the House of Cards that the Bharatiya Janata Party has, formed on the basis of lies and false promises has already started to break.